Today, I want to welcome you once again to this wonderful platform. Um, do you know what we call suicide ideation? Don't bother about the English. These are some of the issues that has actually become a trend in our society, and especially in Africa. But generally, but I'm just making reference to Africa because we are here in Africa, and probably there are Africans all over the world, and I know it can also affect other people wherever they may be. We call this thing suicide ideation. It's actually very rampant in Africa these days because of a lot of issues. And some of these issues, many of us are not immune. We are a lot of us are actually very vulnerable to some of these issues. So I'll just be asking, um, have you ever thought of committing suicide, even when you didn't mention it to anybody, even when you didn't say it to anybody, even probably you just thought about it in your mind? You hear when people say, I was just standing in the other place and my mind was just telling me to do this, to jump all from this fence, to do this and all that. Last week, I had a friend who gave me a story. It's not actually a very nice story. That this my friend almost took her life. It's thank God for the intervention of her friends who were around, and the story didn't really look so nice. But just like we always say, there is no reason why you should take your life. But when there are suicide ideation, there will always be reasons for you to actually think. In fact, that is actually why you are thinking about that. So I'm going to mention some situations that can actually bring about this suicide ideation, and I really want you to pay very rapt attention to them, just to like see if there's anyone that actually resonates with you or anybody around you. When we talk about the issue of mental health, it's not just about you. You could be mentally okay and you are mentally fit and you feel good about it. But if the person around you or close to you or beside you is not in the same mental health fitness with you, you're already vulnerable, you're already in trouble. And that's why we strive for a safer world, because even if you think you are safe and the other person is not safe, that person who is not safe can actually create an unsafe space for you. So the goal is to make everybody safe, not just some people or some group of persons. So some of the points, some of the reasons I'll just be mentioning that could actually there are about a number of them, but I'll just mention these few. Number one is poverty. Poverty, that is lack of financial power, a kind of, maybe when you don't you have a lot of things to achieve or to do financially, and you don't have the means, the resources to actually do that. It can make someone to actually have this kind of ideas, suicide ideas and all that. Another one is unemployment. Of course, when you are strict economically, it doesn't look so funny, because just like we all know in primary economics that man's needs are insatiable, even though the means of actualizing them are very limited. So you can see that when the little you have is being stripped off, or you don't even have access to the little that you should even have access to, it can actually pose some of these dangers. Then the other one that is almost like common everywhere, failures in relationship or failed relationships. It could be relationship among siblings, relationship between couples, and all that, even at work, even among your colleagues, your social friends, your social space. Some of these things, when one feels that he or she is being alienated from his circle of friends and feels not welcomed, or feels that this space no longer serves my purpose, a kind of, and before you know it, it could depression sets in, and this person begins to run as a loner. And if this person naturally wasn't designed as a loner, then it begins to pose a lot of problem. So these three, four I've just mentioned now, yeah, probably just check if you fall into any of these, or anybody around you or someone or you don't have story already have this kind of or this kind of situations around them. So if you're around them, you should be able to know what to do to help out, because like I said, you may be okay. If the person around you is not okay, you are already vulnerable. So what we strive to do is to have a safer world where everybody feels safe, irrespective of the situation or who that person is. Everybody feels safe, because once you are not safe, the other person who is safe is no longer safe. If you are safe and the other person is not safe, you are no longer safe. So the goal is for us all to be safe. So in the next video, I'm going to mention the other aspects of life that can actually bring about this kind of situation. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Until I see you next time, stay mentally healthy. Bye.